Здравейте отново в поредното издание на Out Originals. Много се вълнувам пак да сме с вас. Аз съм Коста Каракашян, главният редактор на OutBG, и днес ще се срещнем с Jack Hawitt, който е страхотен британски поп изпълнител. Ще ви разкажа малко за него. В момента очакваме Jack да се включи в разговора. Вчера излезе новия му сингъл So Deep, за който ще ни разкаже на първо място. И след това ще си поговорим за музиката му и как тя говори по важни теми за ЛГБТИ и общността по целия свят, като любовта, менталното здраве и всякакви други страхотни теми. Докато чакаме Джак да се включи, ако имате въпроси, може да ги пишете долу и също така може да оставите емоджи и да кажете как се чувствате днес. Сега ще го поканим. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Long time no see.
I know. I love the little studio backdrop you have going on.
Yeah, can you see it all right? Let me move my camera back a bit. I'm just in my studio. I'm on my sofa where I just like to chill sometimes, listen to music.
It's perfect. So, welcome. I was explaining in Bulgarian. We're excited to have you here today. Our audience is a little bit familiar with your work. We covered your last single, but we haven't talked about So Deep yet, which dropped yesterday.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
We can get started. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the new song and what it means to you and what was the inspiration behind that.
Yeah, so my new song's called So Deep. Came out yesterday on all streaming platforms. It's a funny story, this one, because I wrote this with a friend of mine, Lewis Gardner, who produced the track as well. And we were meant to be in a session with another artist. It was just after the first lockdown in the summer last year. And then literally last minute, the artist cancelled on us. So it was on Zoom, the session, and we were like, oh, should we just do a session anyway? And then we were like, yeah, okay. And then we decided to write something for my project. And that's the session that we wrote So Deep. So if the artist hadn't cancelled that session, So Deep would never have happened. So I'm like so glad that happened. But yeah, so the song is kind of about, it was after the first lockdown, and I think everyone was kind of feeling like missing their friends and that kind of thing. So I was feeling that as well, that I'd not seen my friends for so long. So I wanted to kind of write something about that, really, just like feeling a little bit off kilter and not quite feeling yourself, feeling a bit lost. And that's why, yeah, that's kind of what So Deep's about, really.
And what about the music video? You've collaborated with your usual director for that, right?
This new video, I didn't actually. I worked with a new guy on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, so usually I work with Russell Kent Nichols, who does most of my music videos. But this one I actually went out to Dubai and shot the video there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I just wanted I wanted like a different landscape. I wanted like a big landscape, like desert vibes, beach, that kind of thing. So I went out there to shoot that video. Yeah.
That's great. And you mentioned that it was a session that was originally for someone else. So you both write for other artists and you do your own music as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I do kind of like 50-50. So I write for my project and then I write for loads for other artists as well.
Yeah. We have some comments already saying the song and the video are epic.
Oh, thank you. I should read these. I'm not reading them at the moment.
They're really going wild.
Yeah.
Yes. So, what is the process like when you're writing for someone else versus when you're writing for yourself? We have a lot of young people who are watching and want to also, write and create art in Bulgaria. So, what's that perspective like for you?
It's not like too dissimilar, like writing for myself and writing for other people. I always kind of like to write something that I can connect with, so it's kind of a truth that I'm writing. But I think when I'm writing for myself, I get a little bit more precious about like what the meaning of the song is or something, and I think I'm a little bit more, but I am definitely like more hard on myself when I'm writing for my own project. I actually find it easier when I'm writing for other people because I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm not like, it's not going to be my song in the end, so I can kind of just, there's kind of less pressure. Yeah, but it kind of comes from the same. We would always like write the song the same anyway, but it feels like a little less pressure when I'm writing for other people.
Something I really love about your material is that there's a vulnerability and honesty. There's a softness to it that's really nice, and we don't see that so much in male performers, I guess. So
Yeah,
that's really nice. Can you talk a little bit about that?
yeah, definitely like to, in my own music, write about things I've experienced or people close to me are experiencing. And yeah, so I've obviously like talked about mental health in my songs before. I've written a lot of like love songs, but I just like to have like a strong concept and a story in my head, whether it's been me affected by the story or like someone close to me. And then just be like, I like to be quite honest and truthful in a way that people can connect to it if they've like experienced something similar.
So what are some of the topics that you mentioned? Love songs, of course, that they're a staple, but
Yeah.
what are some topics and things that are important to you as an artist?
Oh, hard question. Yeah, I mean the love songs are always like the go-to. Or do you know what? Sometimes I've written in the past songs that are not really about love, but they're about like, maybe it's about the music industry or how I feel about where I am in my career. But then I always kind of like take the idea of what I'm going through at the time and then make it like it's about someone, but really it could be about the music industry, for example. So if I'm writing like, I think I can't even think of a song off the top of my head, but like, you know, if I'm feeling frustrated with something, like if I felt like how, you know, like we all do this comparing thing on Instagram, like, oh my God, I'm not doing as well as other people, that kind of, you know what I mean? So I think like sometimes I've taken like something like that and then written it in a way that it's about somebody.
Right, because it's maybe easier to relate or easier to take out that energy if it was a person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then sometimes as well, it's easier to articulate if it is about someone. You can kind of make it easier to
So
direct it.
your last single, it was a really cool love story, and in the video, something that we talked about a little bit in our piece is that it does show a same-sex relationship. How
Yeah.
did you decide to do that for the video?
Yeah, so I'm obviously an openly gay artist, but I've never really, like, I don't mention like pronouns in my songs. I don't sing like him or he or anything. So I thought this time like it'd be nice in the music video to just have a same-sex couple. So yeah, so that was the song. I was like, yeah, cool. I think this is going to be a good one to do that. Because a lot of my videos I don't really have anyone else in them anyway. But this one I worked with Russell Kent Nichols again on this one, who's just amazing. Definitely give him a follow if you're into like music videos. And we were in like the second, or was it the third lockdown? It was in January we shot this video, so we were really limited to what we could do. So we hired the Infinity Cove studio where we shot the video, the main part of the video, and we didn't really want to include like a lot of people in the project, so we kept the team really small, just so, because obviously COVID restrictions and everything, and we were following all the guidelines and things. So we didn't, yeah, so we decided not to really have it in the video. But then after we'd done like the first day of shooting, I'm back.
Very good.
Do you know what that was? My phone popped up saying you've been on Instagram for 4 hours today. To a time, to a limit. That's so bad. I'm on my phone far too much. Yeah, so I was saying it was actually Russell's idea to then do these like other scenes with another person where we like overlay them like a transition over the main video. So I used my flatmate Fraser, He's in loads of my videos. It's always Fraser. He's an actor as well, so he's a natural at doing all this. And then on the second day of shooting, we were actually shooting the acoustic video, so it's the one where I'm playing the piano. And then we shot the scenes with me and Fraser in that studio as well. So it was like a different studio, and also like it was just something different for the video because it was just going to be three minutes of me like sitting on a box like throwing my arms around. So we wanted it to be a little bit more interesting. Yeah, but I was really glad that I could like represent that like gay relationship in my music. I think it's just nice to like have that music video with that same-sex couple, and it's not even a thing. Like the song isn't about it's not like saying this is a gay relationship. It's just a relationship, and it's just making it normal.
That's beautiful. It's something that we're dealing and talking about a lot in the industry here. There's a lot of artists, but no one actually feels that compelled to go out and represent it. Of course, there are a lot of artists in the industry that they're still figuring out the courage and the strength to do that here. So it's really nice for us to see it and to see, like you said, it's just so normal. It's not even a thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's so important. If you can do that, that's amazing to just make it normal. Like, so there's not even a conversation needs to happen about it.
You mentioned Fraser, and I wanted to ask you about one other video for Mr. Brightside.
Yeah.
Which also, there's a figure in that video as well, right? Like, that's him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Fraser. Yeah. So I did that cover for the PlayStation 5 launch campaign advert, and that was really last minute, and it was the first time that I'd worked with Russell as well, the filmmaker. And he just like sent me a message on Instagram one day because he'd used my song Higher Love in one of his videos. So he just sent me a message saying, hey, like, he tagged me in the video, I think, and I was like, thanks for using the song. And he said, oh, if you ever need a music video, give me a shout, if you ever want to collaborate. And I was like, cool. And I think I kept that in the back of my mind and like followed him, and like I knew who he was. And then and then this was coming up, the PlayStation 5 thing, and I was like, oh, I should really make like a music video for it.
Yeah.
And I was just honestly gonna just make it myself because I made my Higher Love video myself. So I was gonna just go back out with my drone again and like do something. And then I thought, oh, I wonder if that guy is around, because I knew he lived like not too far away. So I sent him a message on Instagram, and he was like, yeah, cool. I was literally like, it's tomorrow, like it's gonna be a really quick turnaround. So anyway, then I got Fraser and was like, hey, like, I've got this idea for this concept for this video, because I'd listened to the lyrics of Mr. Brightside and I'd obviously recorded it, and it feels like it's like an internal battle with, you know, like it's like jealousy, and it's kind of like a thing inside your head. So my idea was to have like my inner demons like haunting me behind me, and it was just coming up to Halloween as well, so it was cool to do like something spooky around Halloween. So yeah, Fraser, I roped Fraser into that and got him to cover himself in bandages. And but yeah, so the idea was that he was like my like inner demons, and he was like sneaking up behind me, and I'd turn around and he was gone, and he was just always like kind of like in the back of the shot, like it blurred even.
It's a really beautiful visual, and you know, knowing some of your other work, for me, I interpreted it as, you know, talking about mental health as well in the video.
This is Russell, by the way. He's just commenting.
Yeah.
Hey, Russell.
We're just talking about the video. It's really special, and I think for me, knowing some of your work, I thought about it as a continuation of sorts about talking about mental health. Like you have a duet, Dark Hotel, that also talks about that.
Yeah. So I wrote Dark Hotel with a friend of mine and artist Niaki, and we actually wrote that for her project in Oslo. I was in Oslo at the time, and when we went into the studio, we both were just really on the same page that day, and we'd written a couple. I think was that the first song we'd written? Maybe that was the first song, but we wrote a few songs that week anyway. And I was like, hey, what do you want to write about today? And she was kind of like, what about something along the lines of like mental health? And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely up for doing something like that. And we wanted to write, she'd like had someone close to her that was like going through something, and we wanted to write a story from both sides. So her verse is like, you know, like I'm going through this mental health thing, and I'm like, I'm not myself kind of thing. And then my version wanted to like flip that round and be like, okay, I'm here for you. I'm going to be the person that's here for you. You can tell me what's going on. We can have this conversation. And like, I've been through that and I understand. And it's basically like a conversation in a song, you know? So we wanted to be, rather than just being one side and like, oh, I'm going through this thing and this is hard or whatever. We wanted to have that, but then also have the other person who's the person that's like, tell me and let me help you, and we can get through it together.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. You always need that person on the other side to help you through all that.
Yeah, and feel like it's okay to ask for help and speak out as well.
Yeah, very important. This is a question I get asked a lot, so I'm gonna ask you as well. Do you think as artists we have to, or it's good when artists talk about social topics and, you know, things like mental health?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think it is important because it's something that everyone's going through. However severe or like mild, I think everyone feels it, especially with the last 10 years of social media being so massive now, and it's literally part of our everyday lives. Like, I mean, I'm so bad for it. I literally wake up and I grab my phone and I'm on it in the bed. I'm on my phone all day. Like, my average screen time is like 8 hours a day. Honestly, I need to like rein it in. But it is like we're on here and we're following people who inspire us, or colleagues or friends, and you know, like we see people doing better than us, or perceived to be doing better than us, and we need to remember that it's a highlights reel, isn't it? Like, we just post the good stuff, people post the good stuff, so it's easy to like not appreciate what you've actually achieved yourself. I think that's the most important thing. Like, I always have to remind myself like what I actually have right now, and not focus on what I want. And then that's like a total shift in like the mentality. But I think it's important for people to be like bringing these things up, and just maybe just even like saying like, yeah, I'm feeling it too, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We have some people in the comments resonating with we have Riz Berg saying it's a very powerful song about Dark Hotel, and Lynn saying that they love your new song.
Oh, hey Lynn, thanks.
Yeah, definitely. It's you know, with social media, sometimes you have no idea what's going on behind the posts, and
yeah,
we're projecting our own experiences on other people's feeds, and it's really important to not take that as reality at face value.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true. Yeah.
So, do you have any advice for people who are interested in trying their luck in music, and or people who want to write for artists?
Any advice? I would say, like, you need to, if you want to like seriously do the artist thing or the writing thing, you really have to decide and really go for it full on. Like for me, like I'm just constantly doing it. I'm working like all the time, like just trying to like just constantly like better myself, or like I'm doing research to see like how can I like expand this, how can I like reach more audience and that kind of thing. So I think advice for people is just be passionate about it, and if you love it and have determination, like just keep going.
Yeah, and where do you find inspiration when you're stuck? Do you just keep going and you know, if you're productive enough, a lot of artists say that inspiration will come, but what's your take on it?
Yeah, I think when I first started doing writing sessions, I was thinking, I remember like thinking, how am I going to keep going to a session and writing a new song like every day? Like how am I'm going to run out of ideas. And I used to always kind of like think of like a concept or something before I'd go in a session. I'll be a little bit prepared. But then I found that every time I'd go into the room, and the ideas just come from somewhere, like it just comes. So like now, like years later, I don't really prepare when I'm going to a session. It just kind of like, I know it's just going to come, and we get inspired in the moment by the chords or, you know, the music and things. But then I will say that there's been times when I've like been doing session after session after session for weeks, and it's just got a little bit too much, and then you just have to take a break. Like I've found, because I used to just work, never give myself any days off, and then I found that it just backfired, and I had to just take some time off. And it was actually before the first lockdown last year, I was at one of those moments where I was like, oh, I've just like burnt myself out, and I was starting to like not love it. And for me, like if I don't love it, then like there's no point. I hated that I got to that point where I was like, I'm actually not enjoying going to sessions, and like it was actually like the before. Like if I was coming up to a session, I was like, oh, I don't want to do it. And then actually when I was in the session and we were writing, I probably did actually really love it, because I do. But that time I was like, I need a break. And then it actually came at the perfect time, because then we went into lockdown and I took 3 weeks where I just didn't do any music or any sessions. And I really needed that time off to like kind of fall in love with it again and find some more inspiration. And then when I started doing like online sessions again, then I felt really good after having that time off. So I think you've definitely got to just like schedule in breaks.
Yeah, it's really hard
off,
to
like, take some time off.
It's really hard to set that time for yourself.
Yeah.
If it doesn't come from outside circumstances like a pandemic or just getting burnt out, it's hard to be like, I can give myself a break before I get to that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because otherwise, you can make yourself really unhappy.
Yeah. So you just released a new single, but what else can we expect from you in the coming months or in the next year?
So the next thing, I'm shooting the music video with Russell on the 5th of May for the next single, which we're very excited about. We keep texting saying like, oh my God, I wish it was now. So we've got lots of ideas. The venue that we're using is really cool. I'm not giving away any spoilers, but
yeah.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be really good. Like maybe, hopefully like the best yet. But I just love working with Russell. Like he's so good, and his vision and his like knowledge of the shots, that he just knows exactly what to do, and I can really relax. I think like the best thing about this relationship with Russell is that, like, you know what it's like when you're creating something, like no one really like is as passionate about the project as you are yourself.
Yeah.
So it's hard to find someone that is like that, and I feel like Russell is like that. He's just as excited about making the videos as I am. So it just works so well, and I know that anything he does is gonna come back like absolutely amazing. Like he sent me the first draft of Runaway, and I think I was like, yeah, that's it. Like you don't even need to do anything. He just has the amazing talent. So as an artist, that's so nice for me to just like be able to relax and know that it's gonna be good.
Yeah, and to know that you don't have to take care of all the departments, that you have someone who can hold the fort down.
Exactly, yeah. I can just worry about what I need to do, and Russell will just like, yeah, he's amazing.
That's amazing. We can't wait for the video as well.
Yeah, so I think that's probably going to come out like end of May, early June, I would say. So yeah, so there's definitely more music coming. There's lots in the pipeline. It's kind of like an EP. So at the end, all of these songs that I'm releasing, starting from Runaway, will like accumulate onto an EP.
That's great. I love all the new stuff you've been putting out, and the visuals. It's really, really strong and really unique, I think.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, do you know what? I'm loving like making the visuals and the videos and this all the new songs, and it's just nice to have had like the songs ready and finished, and even the videos finished, and then decide when to release them and actually release them quite close together. So my plan is to like kind of leave like 6 weeks between the releases. So that's really nice, because I've kind of like in the past I've released a song and then waited like a couple of months and then like another song and then had a big break in between. So this is nice that I've kind of got like 5 songs lined up ready to go.
Yeah, it's really nice to keep the interest, and you know, once you get familiar with one song, there's another one waiting for you, and that's
yeah,
really
exactly. Nice. Yeah.
Well, great. Thank you so much for taking the time. We really loved talking to you and getting kind of an insider look at some of the stories from the videos and the songs. Our audience here at OutBG really liked the last single, so we're gonna keep telling them and sharing with them whenever you have any new stuff coming out.
Oh, thank you so much. It was lovely chatting to you. Nice to see you after so long.
I know, me too. So we'll be in touch, and if you guys have any other questions for Jack, you can DM us or comment below the video once we upload it, and we'll check the questions out. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day.
See you later, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.